Let's do it. What a day. What a show. Double trouble. Mr. Gertz, let's go. What a day.
Let's go.
Yeah. I wish the people who are listening to the recording that'll go off of this podcast could hear that opening song. What a tune. Apparently, if you want to get mainstream music at the start of your podcast, you have to send in I think it's a thumb and an earlobe or something they charge you to get that
copyright.
on there. Yeah. Yeah.
We'd run out so fast.
Oh yeah. Well, I use my thumbs all the time. I love
1 month in.
Yeah.
Record
there's a new bootleg and then you can start it.
That's what we need. There's a new bootleg. Exactly. Yeah. Guys, welcome to another edition of the Ray and Adam Show. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to have a blast today. We've got a couple of inplayLIVE core members, borderline, we're right at the cusp of legendary status for both. Probably there. These guys are gems. They're absolute beauties. So super excited to have you guys on. What's going on? How was your week, Razor? You have a good week?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going back. We can't raise these guys' jerseys to the rafters yet. They'll have nothing left to play for.
We're not retiring any numbers yet. No.
Yeah. No. Hang on a minute.
We're just looking to sign our post rookie deal here.
Stay hungry.
Max extension, please.
There you go. Max extension.
Exactly.
Maybe the Live Tour will call you. Maybe there'll be I heard there's a rumor that there's an offshoot of inplayLIVE called it's called something else. I can't remember the name, but they're offering guaranteed money. And Pacer said, if anybody goes, that's it. You're done. We're never talking to you again. It's pretty compelling offer, though. Just saying.
Man, how do you
Guaranteed
turn
money.
that down? No more grinding, just free money for showing up.
Yeah. Be unbelievable.
3 meals a day. I actually like the sound of that.
Yeah. Sorry, Pace. It's been fun. So, guys, why don't we just start? You guys have been around for a long time. You're core members. You're both, very successful at this. Ritzker, you've been here since day one. You actually have a pretty cool perspective on inplayLIVE as someone that's been, buddies with Pacer for long before we were doing anything like this. It must seem like 100 years ago that we started this thing. It was only, 2 and change, but what was it like in those early days for you? You're here right from the beginning. How, talk about that. What was the start like for you?
Yeah, man. I mean, so I guess it would be we're looking at 2020 is when it started. Right. And, as you guys have heard a million times, Pace and Raj had originally launched it as an e-learning course. So I think I was like one of the first 3 guys to watch that course. Right. And I remember we were in a Soyuz that summer, just kind of watching it. And so to watch from, a handful of guys trickling in to what it is now, it's pretty nuts. It's pretty crazy to think about what it's evolved to. Myself, I didn't really get into it full time for the first, I'd say, year and a bit, honestly.
Right.
I was working a full-time job. I didn't have really a bankroll to get started with. So I was just kind of poking around. And to be honest, it took me 12 months of rehab just to kick my addictions. So, so it wasn't until this past football season that I really sunk my teeth in. But that was good timing because, there was a lot of pros that had come on and provided a lot of additional support at that point. But I think that got really lucky with the guys that did come on early days because they've really helped build this thing just massive. So yeah, it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, it's something that I don't know gets talked about enough. And this isn't meant to take 1 ounce of credit away from Pacer and the guys running everything. But so much of the evolution of this thing has come from, those guys that were in that, the first 100 members that, helping to shape and mold and form this thing into what it is today. And they'll be a big part of helping mold it moving forward.
Well, Gretzky didn't win all those Stanley Cups by himself.
It's true.
Ritzker left out the fact that his original rate was grandfathered in. He's got the best inplayLIVE deal out of anyone.
So, and what's that? A foot rub for Pacer once a week?
I mean,
What's the fee?
The guy who gave Tony Robbins his first appearance for free. I mean, did he get a deal or, you know? Oh man, but no, yeah. I mean, I was definitely lucky in that sense for sure. But
yeah.
I try to give back through comedy or self-deprecation as much as I can.
Well, you actually have, and it's too bad that it happened when, you know, there were a lot fewer members, but you have one of the funniest moments in the history of streams. Who wants to volunteer to tell that story? Do you want to tell it, Ritzker, with the jersey?
Oh, the jersey. Yeah. I mean, that was
the best.
Yeah. I mean, so for anyone who's new or doesn't maybe quite understand that I'm quite a passionate fan of my fantasy team. Any bet I make, really, a live under anything that's going on. So yeah, this one time, it was nearing the end of the fantasy football season, and I had secured a win, and I was on the fringe. My team, you know, I'm not a great manager. I'm just kind of on the fringe, and my team had secured the win that I needed, but I needed some help to get into the playoffs. And what happened is that I needed Zeke to score 6 or 7 more points, right, in the night game, or I don't know if it was a late afternoon game or a night game, but to help my colleague beat another guy, and that would get me into the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Which, you know, once you're in the playoffs, you've got a chip in the chair at winning any year in fantasy football. And so the Cowboys get down to the 1 yard line, like there's a reception to the 1 yard line or something, 1st and goal on the 1, and I've got my alternate Zeke jersey that I was very proud of, because I was an early adopter of Zeke. I had him years ago. And so I had my Zeke jersey on, and I'm just willing this touchdown in, right? So 1st and goal, pounds it into the wall. 2nd and goal, pounds it into the wall. 3rd and goal, pounds it into the wall. It's nothing. He has 3 attempts, no yards. 4th and goal, they go for it. Nothing. Stuffed. But wait, there's a flag. 1st and goal again on the 1. New life. Okay, come on, guys. Seriously, just jump over just get it in. 3 more tries, nothing. He doesn't get it. So he had a record 7 attempts to score a touchdown from the 1 yard line and failed. And this is, arguably one of the better running backs in the last 10 years. I just lost it. I took that jersey off. I threw it in the trash, and I won't touch Zeke in fantasy. I won't cheer for him in real life. I barely even, it's almost like the name that I won't speak most of the time. Yeah.
And
what happened on 4th down?
The best part about this, you guys, is this meltdown happened in real time. We're all watching the stream. So not only is Ritzker just blowing a gasket, losing his mind, and Pacer, and rightly so, turns the camera over to you so we can all watch you just go completely ballistic. It was pretty great. Sorry for that was one of the misery so much.
The coolest things about inplayLIVE is that you guys were like what's the role, like the supporting actors in the film, that we could just sit
Vice
and
president.
we got to know you a little better than the rest of the community, because you were always in the background of Pacer's screen, and then all of a sudden we go to Vancouver and press meet, as they say, and we get to know you guys and made that friendship real. And I think that's the first time you were on the map for me, and then all of a sudden you went from you just turned into a superstar overnight.
Yeah, well, I joined a week before the event, so yeah, I think that was the first time most people got to know me.
Yeah, you and you have a story that's maybe more similar to Kernsey, where your ride up was very different. I think a lot of people have the experience that Ritzker was just talking about. Takes a bit, get your feet underneath you. You just went let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah, I had quit my job a couple days before I joined inplayLIVE. So for me, it was I needed to make it work, and I was going to give it my all right away.
See, that's confidence. Like some people, they need to establish like a hell of a track record before they quit their job. You quit your job and then joined in Play Live.
Yeah, he just wiped every paper off his boss's desk and threw the filing cabinets over and just trashed the entire office. Lit a match at the bridge on the way out and said, "Fuck it, I'm a professional gambler now, you losers."
It was kind of an emotional resignation. I woke up one day, I was like, "There's no way I'm doing this job today." So I can't say it was necessarily a responsible decision.
Stripped down to his underwear too. Left the company clothes at the door.
Well, that's what Pacer says right in the curriculum. He's like, it's the first lesson. Lesson number 1: quit your job and go all in. Just that's the first thing you're supposed to.
Yeah, we don't want anyone coming in here unfocused. Just drop everything right now. Yeah. That was a joke, by the way.
Leave your wife. Tell your kids to go stay with somebody else. Quit your job. All in. Anything less is a disgrace.
I got no wife, no kids. I got a dog, so it's easier for me.
Well, there you go. It's an important dog, though.
Your dog eating a little better. Like
she is, yeah. She had surgery a few weeks ago for some bladder crystals, but yeah, we'll get into that another time.
Oh, right.
Wow. That's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've actually, our side show is talking about veterinarian experiences. And we've actually got a special on bladder crystals coming up. When's that show, Ray? July 15th, I think.
We're running those Thursday mornings because that's when the dogs are napping and people can tune in better.
I think more people than they care to admit would have a bad vet story. So
there you go. Well, that's why we have the show. Yeah, we've got dozens of listeners on that one, and we've got 7 on the vet show. So we're rolling.
The dogs of In Play Live.
The dogs of In Play Live.
Some great dogs.
Some great dogs. Yeah, it was a hell of a show. You guys should tune in. We had an interesting show last week. A couple of calls that were made, and actually something we were pretty excited about. Colty was on, and he made a great call about a Braves team total over that hit. So everybody that tuned in got that. That wasn't called out anywhere else. I made a call that wasn't quite as good. I said that it would be Tampa in 5 in the final. Hopefully, I'm closer and it can be 6, but I kind of don't think it will. We're going to talk about hockey in a little bit.
The call that I was 5, then you could be right. You could say Tampa could lose in 5.
Yeah, it's true. It could be. Yeah. And Ray, and in fairness to Ray, like you called out a severe long shot for the US Open. And then we also called out Will Zalatoris to win, which was this close. That would have been the best promo ever. All the listeners would have been just counting all that Zalatoris money. What a golf tournament. I don't know if, were you guys able to tune in on Sunday?
Yeah. I got the first 5 bet. I missed the Zalatoris, so.
When Fitz hit that bunker on 18, like I was thinking we got a 3-way playoff tomorrow, right? And then Zalatoris still almost tied him with that birdie putt. But yeah, that was a close one. Great call though.
I know Pace and Ritzker have a nickname for him, the Phoenix, but his real nickname is 10 times better, the Z Spot. That's the spot. Yeah, Zalatoris. Sounds like clitoris. They go with the Z Spot. I heard that, and I couldn't believe you guys called him Phoenix.
I did not know that.
Friends and family show here, Gertz.
He got that nickname at the Waterbury Open, I think.
Waterbury Open. There you go. Yeah,
he's an exciting player. He just needs to learn how to putt. He just runs into serious issues with that putter.
Well, it's interesting because his putting stroke from like 10 feet and out is like as close to perfect as you can get. Like his stroke is absolutely sublime from 10 feet. And then, you get him with a 3-footer and it looks like a really small airplane coming in for landing on a windy day. Like, it's just like, it's crazy, like crazy. How, and it just shows you how hard golf is from a mental perspective. Like that is 100% between his ears.
For sure.
But I heard a really, really interesting theory on Zalatoris, and it's going to lead me personally to betting on him in every major until the wheels fall off. So and I never thought of it like this, but he will never contend at the Valspar Open or the Canadian Open or this or that. And the reason for that is that most PGA events, there's a much higher premium on putting than ball striking, right? For most of it. And don't get me wrong, like there are some non-majors like the Players and Bay Hill and some other ones where, ball striking is at a premium, but a lot of those courses are just, they're putting contests, right? Like the ball striking is less important than it is holding putts. So if you think about it, Zalatoris, he's never going to contend in those because he's never going to be winning the putting contest, right? And if ball striking isn't as important. But if you look at his track record in the majors, which majors ball striking is here, putting is, it's important, but not nearly as important. I mean, there's only 3 people that you can put in the conversation for world's best ball striker right now, and he's one of them. It's him, JT, and Morikawa. You can't put anybody else in that conversation.
It sort of makes sense why Morikawa's very similar in his performance in the majors. Like to go back in time, like Jason Duffner was widely regarded as one of the best ball strikers, terrible putter, and he was usually in the mix in the majors too.
He was, and rarely at the normal events. So it's a really interesting theory. I read it the other day on the interweb, just a new thing. And they were sharing that theory. I thought that was really interesting. So I already decided previously that I was going to be betting on Zalatoris and Morikawa at the British this year. I'm going to be upping my bet on those two. And I actually don't think I'm going to be taking anybody else in the British. I'll just be taking those two. But that shot that Fitzy hit there on 18, I don't know if the average golf fan appreciates the degree of difficulty on that shot. Like it when he first got in there, I'm looking at him going, okay, well, he can't hit it at the pin because that mound, like there's no way he's going to be able to get over that mound with confidence. And in that spot, you cannot risk hitting the lip of that bunker, because then like not only are you going to not
brings double into play.
Like you cannot hit that shot. So he actually aimed right of that mound and faded it around it under that kind of pressure. Like you guys, that is, it's one of the most underrated shots in major golf history. Like when it matters, that was incredible. Like all the respect in the world for that. I mean, I was cheering hard for Zalatoris, but what a shot, like unbelievable. On the golf front, do you guys want to talk about the LIV Tour? Should we bring it up? Should we talk about it?
So, I just lost some connection. Sorry, guys. I missed that.
Oh, did you guys?
I mean, it's a hot topic for sure.
Let's talk about that LIV Tour. Let's talk about it. I want to hear I've certainly got some strong opinions on the subject. What do you guys think about it?
I think if you take like a neutral, just take an objective view at it, right? Obviously there's a ton of money involved. So from the player's standpoint, you understand the business decision. You know, someone's going to offer you $100 million just to sign on the dotted line. What sane person's going to turn that down? But on the other side of it, it's like, okay, so now what we're doing is it feels like we're amputating the quality of golf and making 2 weaker tours, or at least, you know, if people are prohibited from playing on either side, right? 2 weaker tours. And then the third thing is that, you know, there's not really a demonstration they're trying to make money off of it. It feels like just like this cannibalism. It's just like, they don't care if it's a business that makes money. It's just this endless pit of, we're just going to throw this out here. So I'm a bit confused as to what the end game is going to be there, or like, you know, how it's going to survive or continue, or why it would continue or survive. And then just my personal opinion about the whole no cuts 3-day thing. I think it's hokey. I think that's a bit of a joke. I like, come on. And everyone's starting on, it's like shotgun starts, and it's like, that part to me is like, I just don't like it.
I think I'm not strongly opinionated on it by any means, but I just think looking at golfers to provide the moral compass for the world is a bit ridiculous.
A little bit ridiculous. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Greg Norman had a great comment on it all. He said, okay, you don't like Saudi oil and Saudi money, and like, let's face it, like you probably shouldn't. I mean, they're not the best people out there. And you know, their human rights standards, the way they treat women, the way they treat gay people, like it's not what you want. But a little bit of hypocrisy with the PGA Tour. Greg Norman showed the sponsors that sponsor the PGA Tour all the money that comes in and their ties to Saudi oil. And it's like 40 billion comes in to the PGA Tour every year in sponsorship from groups that are directly tied to Saudi oil. Like,
for sure.
Yeah.
So come on, like, give me a break.
Yeah. I don't think the ethical thing is like, there's just way too much cobwebs to say one is clean and the other is not, and just, you know, blindly say that for sure.
Yeah. I think questioning the golfer's integrity was basically the only chance the PGA Tour had, because if they want to get in a pissing contest as far as what they're going to offer, they're not going to win. Like you said about, they don't care whether it's profitable. Like, at least at this stage, like, I don't think they're getting too many views on YouTube. They don't have a TV contract. These guys are so rich that they got tired of buying sports cars and yachts that they just bought a few golfers, right? Like, it's and why should we question their integrity when we could be questioning governments who are purchasing their oil? And I mean, I don't really know how the supply and demand works with that, to an extent where I don't know whether we could cut them off, but you could at least hold them a little more accountable. And like you said, the sponsors and all these things, all of these other people whose integrity should be in question before we question Dustin Johnson. You think he gives a shit, you know, where that money's coming from? But like, we can certainly follow the money and hold a lot of other people accountable, but that's not what it's about for the PGA. The PGA wants to question their integrity to maintain what they have, but they might have to go at it a different route here. And I know they're already offering more money next year, which I think Justin and Rory already said they're not even going to play in those.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they're just gonna, like, so they're taking the stance that this is not about the money in one way, shape, or form. It's about being the best. But it's a little harder to prove you're the best when they just, you know, took some of the top dogs away and the competition's a little worse. So I really hope that these guys don't decide to purchase hockey players and football players and baseball players, because that would suck to see the sports world get watered down and have them, you know, the bad guys take away something that we really like.
Let me ask you this, guys. They start the SFL, the Saudi Football League, and they offer 3 times the salaries, 100% guaranteed contracts, and they only have to play 8 games in the regular season. How many players in the NFL leave for that league? All of them?
I don't think you can play football in the desert.
Who wouldn't? Like, who wouldn't leave for that? Like, everybody would go. So like, when people are shitting all over Ian Poulter, best case scenario, the next 3 years or 4 years, is he making more than $1 million a year on tour? Maybe, right? Like, maybe. And what do they offer him? 40 or 50 million bucks or something to come over? Like,
he doesn't even have the regular tour card because he's in Europe and he's turning around, right? Like, he just does enough to play in the majors. And I mean, at this stage, he's not winning any majors anyways. So why not?
Exactly.
Why not? He's had a pretty good career. He's in that perfect sweet spot for a guy that would be absolutely crazy to say no if he's worried about what's best for him and his family. But
it's you know, it's going to be interesting to see how the PGA Tour reacts, right? Like I think that Jay Monahan has really, really pissed a lot of people off. He's the commissioner of the PGA Tour. He's not making any friends, but even just little things, right? Like why is it okay for Justin Thomas to wear a hoodie, like a sweatshirt hoodie while he's playing, but you can't wear shorts? Like, are you kidding me? Like, and I don't have a problem with the hoodies. Like, I got no problem at all with that. Like, when I play golf, I played a private course, and, you know, like I've been a golfer forever. I haven't tucked my shirt in forever. I got tunes playing. Like, golf's supposed to be fun. And, you know, this rigid kind of snooty attitude that many people still have, like, you want to grow the game, quit treating golf like it's this elitist sport, right? Get that stigma gone. And I think Jay Monahan is a bit of a snob that way. And I think he's he's definitely got a mentality built around scarcity, not abundance, right? Like if you know that you've got the right thing, treat it as a free world. Like you go where you want, come back when you're ready, like fill your boots. And he's not taking that approach. He's a baby. He's a victim. I got no time.
Is he the one that went on TV and said, what are you going to say to the families of 9/11?
Yeah.
Was he that guy?
That. Yeah. Like,
yeah, that was cringe. That was so cringy.
Come on.
Yeah. I think that, and I'm not a student of the PGA by any means. Like I don't know the ins and outs or the underbelly of the contracts, but it sounds like it was due for a shakeup. And that's why some of these guys are moving on. Like you're saying, Adam, like it is very rigid. And I think that there is a place where you can make it more marketable and have fun with it while keeping the professionalism, right? You can still do that. It doesn't have to be this hoity-toity sport. It can be respected and still be fun, right?
I think I think that the tour also needs to start making it easier for the young guys to get established, right? Like this past spring, I played golf in a member guest down in Fountain Hills, which is right outside of Phoenix. Great tournament. I've been going to it forever. And this year I played against a guy named Drew Kittleton, who was the U.S. Open runner-up in 2008. Played in the Masters, U.S. Amateur runner-up, in 2008. Played in the U.S. Open, played in the Masters. He was the way he described it when he came out of college. He said if golf had like a draft, like any other league, he goes, at worst, I'm the third overall pick. Well, if you're the third overall pick in any other sport, you get 3 or 4 years to figure it out. He's fighting for paychecks week one. He gets, back, like there's more exemptions now, but back then, like he's scratching and clawing Monday qualifying for tournaments, doing that stuff, grinding over every 3 foot putt. Like that's how you can fuck guys up. You wonder how Zalatoris, how his putting stroke gets like that. Well, imagine if you're literally putting for your livelihood every day, right? Like grinding over everything. Like it's so mentally exhausting.
We're clicking mouses for our livelihood there, Derges.
Yeah, but we're not going like this with our finger when we do it, right? Like little easier.
Kenny is.
Are you not?
Kenny is, yeah. But like that's a huge thing, right? And so he quit. He quit after a couple of years. Now he plays at a course called Whisper Rock, which is arguably the top club in Arizona. Whisper Rock has 40 or 50 PGA Tour members there, and Drew handles them regularly. He's won their club champs 3 of the last 5 years, and every PGA Pro Tour pro comes back for it. Like they all want to win the club champs. There's an interview with Phil Mickelson where they're asking him like, hey, like, what would it mean for you to complete the Grand Slam and get, 4 out of 4 majors? And he goes, well, actually, I've only got 3 out of 5. And they're like, what? He goes, yeah, the Whisper Rock Club Champs is a major, and I haven't won it.
Wow.
So like this guy goes and plays the boys straight up, handles them just fine. And actually, there's a great photo of him if you Google him. He was asked about a little over a month ago as a last minute fill in to play in the USGA 4-ball championship. So this is a 2-man best ball event for like ongoing tournament. He goes last minute. This guy hasn't practiced in a decade. Like he never hits balls. He plays with his shirt untucked, just having a good time, drinking beers on the course. So he just shows up, and he and his partner are now, I can't remember if they're in the semis or the finals, but like a bunch of guys are talking about him because like all the boys on tour know him and they know how good he is. So I really hope it pushes him to start playing, a lot more amateur golf, because the guy is he's such a good dude. And I've played a lot of golf with some really good players. I don't know anybody that holds a candle to him in terms of his overall talent. Like I've never seen anything like it, you guys. Like unbelievable. Never seen anything like it. So I hope he makes it. But it was a really interesting kind of education for me. I always knew how hard it was to make it on tour, but I didn't appreciate necessarily just how big the grind was for the guys that came out of college as the gunners, right? Like I know the guys that are coming up and fighting on the Canadian tour, like I know that grind, but I didn't realize how bad it was for the top guys coming out of college. So super interesting. And frankly, I think it's just one more illustration of the PGA Tour needs to evolve. They need to get their shit together. And what better excuse to get better than to finally have some competition? I think it's great. I don't like that it's Saudi money. I don't like Saudi money anywhere, right? Like I don't like that Canada imports Saudi oil. Like I don't like any of that shit. but it is what it is. And I think it's great because I think ultimately it'll make the PGA Tour better. It's going to hold them accountable. It's going to keep them honest. So, yeah.
Hope so.
We should probably go ahead, Ray.
Yeah, I hope so. But yeah, we should for sure pivot. We're halfway through and we've only talked about one sport.
Well, I think we got to talk about the Stanley Cup Finals.
Big game tonight.
Pretty big game tonight. Yeah. What an interesting series. That 7-0 game was pretty interesting. But that game on what day was it? Monday? Was that game 3?
Yep.
Vasilevsky, are you kidding me?
There's been a lot of blowout games this hockey year, this playoffs. And guys, it just goes to show you, it's just one game because you can just throw it, crumple it up and throw it in the garbage. But like, look at that Edmonton series. A couple of Colorado games have been out there where they drummed the Predators and then they came back and were overtime the next game. It's pretty crazy how, these guys are. I think it maybe speaks a bit more to the attacking style of hockey. And it's like, if your shots are going in almost like basketball, then you can run away with the game, right? But
yeah, I guess so. Hey, higher scoring, less ops for OT. Like, remember, like that Habs run. Sorry to cut you off. No. Patrick Waugh had 10 overtime wins in 1993. Wow. Like, there's been maybe 10 overtimes in the entire playoffs this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we should take another pregame puck line, with Kenny.
The other thing that's interesting about these games, like these two teams are, like, all respect to, my beloved Oilers, but like these two teams are next level over everybody else. Like they are head and shoulders above everybody. And what's crazy about it, you guys, is both teams are this good without their respective third or fourth best player, right? Like, first of all, if Braden Point is your third or fourth best player, like that's scary. Like that's really scary. Like that guy is sick, how good he is. And the Avs are going to get Kadri back potentially tonight, right? Like it's incredible. Oh, somebody just said in the chat, Kucherov might be out tonight. I thought he was going to go. I didn't think it was that bad, that injury, but is he playing tonight?
I haven't heard it.
It's questionable. If he's going to play, he's going to play.
Mess if he's not.
Yeah.
John Cooper says Kucherov is likely for tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. I just looked like he bumped his knee. I don't think it's anything structural or anything.
Kadri's back. That's exciting. We got some fireworks coming.
Oh, yeah. Is he?
Yeah. Everyone put your mouth guards in if Kadri's playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although he did get dirty in that. That hit was pretty dirty. He got cranked from behind.
You bite your lip.
Oilers trash.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Colorado bounces back tonight. I doubt I'll bet on them, but I think I think they are the better team. But who knows? What do you guys think? Do you think Tampa continues their home dominance?
I got Tampa tonight, but I could care less.
If Vasilevsky plays like he did last game, there's nobody can beat him. Like those two saves that he made, the toe saves, he had 2 of them that were almost identical. Like, unbelievable.
When he decides that nothing's getting past him, it's pretty scary, right? Record, his elimination record is just, it speaks for itself, right?
Well, and if you get a minute, just go look at his save percentage on the second and third series. Just go game by game and look at it. Like it's like 960, 940, 950, 1,000. Like it's just, he's unbelievable. He's
unbelievable.
The
shots last game. Maybe we look at taking his saves tonight.
Hey, ding, ding, ding. Are we making a live bet here, fellas?
Well, I don't know if I'm going to lay it right this second.
Jeez. Well, let's break this down. So what have the shots been in this series?
I mean, the Avs just have the ability to come at you in waves.
The total's at 32.5. That seems pretty high.
Yeah, it is pretty high, but he had 30.
He had 37 saves last game. And he had, I'm not even going to count game 2 because there was a billion saves. Oh, they left him in for all 7 goals. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you knew he was going to bounce back. Okay, guys, so look at this. Okay, he made 34 saves on 38 shots in game 1. I'm not even counting game 2. In game 3, he had 38 saves. And what did you say the line is, Gertzy?
32.5, but it's juice. The over is 1.76. So
is there anywhere where you can get some stretch numbers? I bet you can. I bet you you can get some stretch numbers somewhere. Yeah. Okay.
Since when do you worry about juice, Gertz? I didn't know that was when you're starting to get scared of some juice.
Well, you can't.
It'll be my first pregame goalie save bet of the year, Ritzker. Okay, I want good juice.
Yeah.
Okay, so is this an official call from the Ray and Adam show? Vasilevsky over saves.
I don't think I'm taking with that juice, but
what if?
Well, I think we should all make a call today. Is this one going to be yours, Adam?
I am officially. I'm going to find a number, guys. And
Jay's really screwed you there, eh?
Yeah, I wanted that one, but I mean they're already up, so have to wait.
Got to Giolito early, and they're threatening again. It's 1-0, 2 on, 2 out.
The right idea.
Yeah. I'm going to find a number. Ray, do you have a pick you want to make for tonight?
I do have a pick. It's a very obvious one for me. The world throws you opportunities, and lately, every 5 days, it's come in the form of Patrick Corbin or the Washington Nationals. There's a few Orioles that have had some success against them, but I just think that guy is just set it and forget it until he's done. He's making $23 million a year. And basically, like they're a basement team. All that manager wants out of him, because they know they're going to lose, is to pitch as many innings as possible. So they give him a leash that most guys wouldn't. Most guys would be in the minors, but they're paying him $23 million. Like his only job is to eat up innings, and he's having a hard time doing that. But I'm on a combination of a few things. First 5, team total over, first 5 over the run line. Like,
wow, I like it, Ray. I like it. 4.5 team total. That's beautiful.
I love the idea of just cheering against a bad pitcher.
It's so much easier.
Just watching a guy sweat up there, and then his manager's leaving him out to die, basically, right? It's like for the Crows.
For 23 sheets a year, he can afford me throwing some bad juju at him.
That's fair. Yeah, you can go spend that money on some therapy.
Yeah, he's going to be just fine, and he's got it coming for 2 more years.
Corbin helped bring them a ring, so he gets a pass.
Yeah, one of those guys that earned his money in the form of a championship, and now he's just dragging the franchise down.
Yeah, Rendon as well.
He's playing on the Live Tour.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I mean, there's lots of guys like that, right? Like no different than Chicago going from the basement to dynasty. I'm talking about the Blackhawks back to the basement because they had to reward all those guys like Duncan Keith and Brent Seabrook and a lot of guys that just weren't earning their money. But like, will they take it? Yeah, of course. But there's come some opportunities and I guess some downfalls on the back end.
You could be the Canucks and take those contracts and not win. That's the other side of it, right?
Yeah.
I think we're paying for Luongo's kids to go to school still. Like, it's never going to end.
That's great. Yeah, he doesn't quite have the Bobby Bonilla contract where he still gets
$1 million a year.
He doesn't quite have that, but pretty good. I
think he has another 10 years or so to go still.
Some crazy number, yeah.
I saw that in the news the other day, Ehrhoff is getting paid 900 G's a year. He's living in Europe, somewhere in the Swiss Alps or something, getting paid by the Sabres 900 a year for another 5 years.
Wow. Beautiful.
That's
good
just
deal.
tough.
Good deal.
Beautiful. Love it. Gertzy, do you have a pick you want to make? We're kind of putting you on the spot.
I don't. Sorry, boys. I didn't put a ton of research in before the show, but I'm just going to go ahead and endorse Ray's pick. I like betting against shitty pitchers, and yeah, let's get it. 4.5 seems low, so yeah, that's my pick. Over 4.5 for the teams. It's Ray's pick, but I'm backing it.
You're backing it. Okay. So Ritzker, do you have anything?
No, I mean, the Jays was mine, so I'm going to keep my eye on them through the game in case the Sox tie it up, but I like the Jays today. Gardsey did post that 33.5 saves is 1.95, so that's an extra save, right? But
yeah, so that's my official pick on the stake books is over 33.5 saves for Vasilevsky tonight at 1.94 times your money. I'm not saying this is the kind of wager that'll allow you to quit your job, but it's a pretty good bet. I think I quite like that one. So that's we got 2 picks. So we've got Hammer Corbin any way you think you want to, team totals, game totals, first 5, whatever you want to do, and over 33.5 saves for Vasilevsky. So there you go.
Let's get it.
There's also a good value on the Dodgers, in my opinion, for having Anderson, who's 8-0, minus 150 on the money line pregame. So down or mid 1, that could be 1.8 for the Dodgers against the stinky Reds.
Right.
Yeah.
What was that? I was just looking at the message from our producer saying to add, please gamble responsibly.
Please gamble responsibly.
Which means join both picks together and make it a parlay.
Yeah. And the other advice that I would give, this isn't on behalf of inplayLIVE or even necessarily me, but if you're not going to gamble responsibly, win. Don't lose if you're not going to gamble responsibly. If you're going to gamble irresponsibly, make sure you win. And that is 100% a joke. I'm not telling you to gamble irresponsibly. I'm only kidding. Don't sue me. Can we shift a little bit to the NFL? I've got a question for you guys I've been thinking about for a little while here. So,
Bills related?
No, actually. Okay, so there's a lot of drama in Cleveland, right? Like, the whole Watson thing. Baker Mayfield, like there's a lot of talk that Baker's going to be going to Carolina for, whoever. Has anybody thought about fading the Browns on their season totals? Because
I like
they might have Mark Rodgman at quarterback this year for all I know. Like they could have anybody playing quarterback this year.
Don't they have Chase is on the case?
Chase Daniels?
Case Keenum.
Case Keenum. No, he's in Buffalo, I think, isn't he? No,
they're one of the few teams that does not have a win total up on 365. So I think 365.
Oh, really?
Well aware of the drama.
I just find it so interesting. Like I don't know how they can possibly let Watson play one down of football this year.
I think a suspension's almost a guarantee at this point. Just a matter of how long it's going to be.
If and I'm not condoning these other actions, but like if Adrian Peterson got a year for spanking his kid, and again, I'm not saying you shouldn't have got a year. I'm not endorsing child abuse. But
goodness.
I'm, for the record, I'm anti child abuse on the record. Yeah.
No gambling, no beating up your kids.
Yeah. But like if he gets a year for that, if what's his nuts gets a year for making a $1,500 wager when he was on the injured reserve and it wasn't even on his team,
terrible.
Like
that's crazy.
If in my mind, if the NFL, if they let him play this year, any other punishment or suspension they've given anybody is right out the window. Like it's total BS. Yeah. In the Browns, they hired a woman to she's on their she works under the GM. I think she's like assistant GM or something like that. And they're touting this, well, look how much we care about. Like, go fuck your hats, you guys. Like you're the biggest hypocrites imaginable. Like that guy is a complete creep. Absolute creep.
Yeah.
I said on Twitter last week that they should actually let him play all year, but void all roughing the passer penalties. And just make it so go prison rules on him. Like, yeah, you can play, but there will be no unnecessary roughness or roughing the passer penalties on you or against you. And just do it the old fashioned way. But honestly, I can't believe they're even thinking about this. So I'll be emotionally fading.
Let's be honest though, when he plays, he's pretty spectacular.
Yeah, he was good. He was good, but
we don't know now. So,
Adam, Bill Cosby was super funny, Gertzy. Like Bill Cosby used to be hilarious, right? He's a super funny guy. Not fucking, buying his comedy tapes right now.
Like, reminds me of that scene in Step Brothers where they're doing the interview and then Will Ferrell's character farts. He's like, did someone just fart? He's like, all of a sudden the tuxedos aren't so funny anymore. Get out of here.
I was more saying from a Browns perspective of being blinded before signing him. The guy's had a crazy year before he took the last year off. For sure. Like, he's a talent. He can play, but good Lord. Like, it's crazy.
Hypothetically, Derges, hypothetically speaking, let's say Watson does play. What's the number of wins that you'd like to fade? Like, if they posted 9.5, I'd probably still fade that with Watson.
That's a hard one. I don't know. Like honestly, on the field, if they've got Watson and they're healthy, right? Because they also added Cooper. Their D line is crazy. They have, if they don't have the top rushing attack in the NFL, they're certainly top 2 or 3. Like they're on paper, they're good. Their coach is pretty good. I really like their coach.
Same.
But and then not that there's really, such thing as sports karma. Like, there's a lot of really shitty people that have made a lot of money playing sports. So I don't even think there's, like karma attached to this. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the number would be. I hadn't even thought about it from that angle. Somebody just said no football in a year. Well, I don't even, what the hell is he talking about? No football in a year.
Talking about Watson not having played for a year.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Watson hasn't played in a year, but a lot of people would just say that just means he's going to be fresh, right? Like, you take anybody who plays a style of football where they get, hit quite a bit, and he did. Like Watson, like he did get bashed around pretty good in Houston there. So, like, that's I think he'll be, from a physical perspective, I think he'll be just fine. I don't think there's any issue there, but they can't let him play. They can't do it.
He had that one play where he got kicked in the eye and he still made the pass. It was just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard he took it out on his masseuse extra hard that night though. So it's gross piece of shit. Can't stand him. And then did you guys see Rob Gronkowski retired for the 14th time? He's like Cher. He's retired so many times.
Yeah, he didn't even mention the Patriots in his resignation post.
This is his 4th time retiring. I'm sure he mentioned him in one of the other times, and he'll be back by week 8 anyway. So what does it matter?
Yeah, Rob's got the best deal in all of sports, man. He just signs on for the end of the season for playoffs, makes him a couple mil, dances in the end zone, has a great summer, do it again.
Skips training camp.
Speaking of staying fresh, though, that's exactly what a guy like that's got to do. Like, it's the only way to be effective while he's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's half metal at this point.
Don't they call you Mini Gronk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's the reason for that, Ritzker?
I don't know. I guess drew some comparisons of Mini Gronk, and my style of playing flag football. I still play like Gronk, so it's just throw my body around until it breaks. Yeah.
You see the look of confusion on my face. It's wondering how it would be possible to play like Gronkowski in flag football.
Well, you can still throw your body around and commit to it.
Maybe
you're just not playing. You're not playing hard enough, Adam.
Obviously not.
Yeah.
They gave him a nickname for a reason.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're coming up to the end of the hour here, guys. Thanks for coming on. This was a super fun show, and thanks everybody for listening at home. I think the last call, we are up to dozens of listeners, which is pretty exciting. But they say the first 24 listeners are the hardest to get. So, really grateful to my mom and my sister for tuning in. And hopefully we get some more.
We're going viral soon, Adam.
We're going viral soon, to the moon. Yeah. Guys, this is a super fun show. Thanks for coming on. And like, this is our vision for the show, right? We're going to talk about stuff. We're going to, just have some really good people on and have some fun and have some laughs. And so this was a blast. Ray, you want to read the promo to finish us off?
YouTube Spotify, Apple Music, no matter what.
YouTube. We're suspended from YouTube because there was a link that we shouldn't have put up or something like that. And so Spotify or Apple Music. Those two still like us. Yeah.
Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Last week, you could have been in on Will Zalatoris top 5. And today you learned that Patrick Corbin is the gift that keeps on giving.
Don't gamble.
Don't
go
gamble.
to inplayLIVE.
Don't quit your job.
Promo code Ray Adam.
There you go. Thanks,
these pregame bets are great, but join inplayLIVE and you'll get the real primo bets, which is the live stuff.
Absolutely. These are appetizers. The main
words have never been spoken. Those are just fun, you guys. Anyone can say that. If you go if you look at the bet splits today, it's pretty clear where all the money is today on that game. So I mean, that's no secret. We've got some pretty good ones inside though.
Yeah, you bet. There we go. Thanks, boys. Thanks for a great show. And we will actually I may not be on the show next week, Ray. I might have kids' graduation to attend to, so we'll see.
Well, you could skip that.
That's true. He doesn't even care.
How many kids do you have?
They film those now.
I got like 4 kids. I've been to most of their graduations.
Yeah,
he's not gonna like. What's a couple of years of therapy? He'll be over it in no time.
We'll see. We'll see you next week.
Okay.
Thanks, boys.
See you, boys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.